Nation.
SMD Law is the official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Check them out on the interwebs at smdalaw.com or at 866-529-3537. No matter where you are in the state of Michigan, Upper Peninsula, Lower Peninsula, it doesn't matter. They have an office near you. So whether you need to send a letter to an annoying neighbor, or you're a criminal and you need defense, maybe you just have problems with elder law, check them out, smdalaw.com today. The official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Call them first. Then you act.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, Spartan Nation. We now bring in a gentleman. It's his first time on the show, but I'm going to tell you this right now. When the class of 2021 signs, I believe he will be a top 3 defensive end in all of America. I think he's destined for a 5-star. I think he right now is already in the top 2 defensive ends, and I don't think he's not one. I mean, I think he is the best defensive end in the country for 2021. He's got offers from everybody. Iowa out of the Big Ten, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Georgia, LSU. He's picked up a Spartan offer. He's got a bunch more others. We're just not going to go through them. Let's bring in this youngster. He is from Missouri. He goes to Lutheran High School in St. Charles County. In St. Peters, Missouri is his hometown. Let's bring him in. Gabriel Rubio. Gabriel, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Good. I got to ask you right now. If not the top, you're the top 1 or 2 defensive ends for your class in all of America. And everybody I talk to, nobody wants to talk about football. They all want to talk about what a great kid, what a great person. So if you don't mind, everyone wants to talk to Gabriel Rubio because of how good you are about football, and we'll get to that. I want to talk about the kid, man. You must come from a great family. Tell us about him.
Well, my family, they've been with me for a long time. My dad, he was a ex-NFL player for 10 years. He played for Pittsburgh, San Francisco, and Arizona. He played for those teams for about 6 years, and then he moved on into the XFL, and the rest is history. My mom, she's a pro volleyball player. She played for 2 years in the league. I don't know what league it is. She never talks about it. I always thought that was pretty funny. She never talked about it, but she did.
Typical mom, right? Dad's a pro athlete. Yeah. He talks about it every day. Mom's a pro athlete. She's like, I got to make goulash.
Yeah. Well, actually, neither of them talk about it that much at all. They'll keep it to themselves, and they'll only answer things whenever I ask them. And I'm like, what are you doing? Can I get some more information?
That's really cool, Gabriel. Gabriel, I'm curious about something. You know this because you're not dumb. You're a very smart kid in the classroom, but you can turn on film and you can see guys that have all of the God-given gifts. I mean, they've got speed, size, everything, but maybe they don't love the game. Then you can turn on film and watch kids that don't have the size and the speed, who absolutely, they got a heart as big as Texas, and they play. They just play with such passion and love of the game. Gabriel, you are one of those rare kids. You've got the absolute passion for the game and all of the God-given gifts. Do you understand yet, young man, how blessed you really are?
I don't think that I understood earlier in the recruiting process, but now that I'm actually seeing what all these college coaches have to say about me, I think it's widening my view, because before the entire recruiting thing happened, I just thought that I would go play college at some small somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and I would be okay with that. But now that I am being recognized by all these big schools, it feels good to know that I got my future planned ahead for me.
Gabriel, another thing I've learned about you is that you're absolutely doing awesome in the classroom. Matter of fact, someone at your school told me, don't think for 1 second this kid isn't probably more proud about the classroom than the football field. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I see academics as a way to get better and as another step in the football process, because if you have all the talent on the field and nothing in the classroom, it's only going to take you so far. But if you got both, you're gonna soar. You're gonna travel pretty far. So take academics very seriously and as a challenge. So I try to do the best that I can every single semester.
Gabriel, right now, how much do you weigh and how tall are you really?
I weigh 290 pounds. I'm 6'5".
Okay, I have to ask this, Gabriel, and there's no wrong answer. But when I watch you on film, I am incredibly impressed with your speed. Have you been timed in a 40 yet?
What's that?
I said, when I turn on the film, your closing speed on quarterbacks is pretty amazing. Can you tell me what your 40 is?
My 40 is a 5'3", but I'm working with a sprint trainer to get my form down and to get faster.
I'm going to tell you something. I would have never guessed a 5'3" at all. I mean, your ability in those short distances to close on quarterbacks is really amazing. Write his name down. He's going to be, if not the top, he's going to be in that top 2 or 3 defensive ends in all of America for the 21 class. Offers from everybody you can imagine. We're zeroing in on him. We talked about him as a kid because I'm going to tell you this. Everybody I talked to said, well, great kid, great kid, great kid, great kid. And nobody really talked about football. So, Gabriel, let's now switch gears a little bit and talk about football. I mean, we talked a little bit about your passion for the game. What's it like for you? Where do you find that drive and that fire?
From whenever I was young, I started to play whenever I was in 2nd grade because my father introduced it to me. He said, hey, do you want to play football? And I said, sure. And that's really where it started off. And that, ever since I played and practiced from my first game on, I just fell in love with the sport. And that's really where my passion comes from, is the love for the sport. And it gives me something to do all the time. So all the training, I love the training. I have fun practicing, no matter if it's storming, sleet, or in the heat waves in the humidity of Missouri. I love it. I love every second of it.
My sister lives in Neosho. I come down there and go hunting quite a bit. I love Missouri. I'm going to tell you, Gabriel, I don't know how you play football in that heat because that's oppressive, my friend. Gabriel, I want to ask you a question. I got a quote from somebody at your high school about you. I want to read it to you. I asked him to give me some information about you. I said, listen, I'll keep your name private. But this is what they said about you, and I want you to hear it, okay?
Yes, sir.
They said, I would have never known Gabe, and I've never heard you call Gabe other than by them, but I never knew Gabe's dad was a pro football player. And now that he's a great football player, you'd never know it either. I think the biggest advantage that kid has is he maybe got the genes from a pro football playing dad, but he doesn't have helicopter parents. I think they keep him grounded. I mean, that's pretty high praise for your parents and your family, Gabriel.
That sounds a lot like the head of ours. That sounds a lot like the head of our sports. Was that from Kuhlman? Dr. Kuhlman?
Well, I gave my word not to say anything, so I won't tell you, but I won't. I'm not. So, but I bet if you had a few guesses, you could probably get it. Let's just leave it at that. How's that? But, I mean, that's got to make you feel really good, Gabriel, that people talk about your family that way.
It does. It tells me that I'm doing something right.
Do you know what you want to major in? I mean, I know you're going into your junior year, so it's not like there's any pressing need, but do you know what you want to major in yet?
Yes, sir. I want to major in fire science. It's a major that's commonly unheard of, but it's basically a stepping stone to becoming a firefighter.
Good for you. What made you pick that profession, Gabriel? That's a great profession. I mean, God bless our firefighters. What made you pick it?
Well, again, going back to my father, I always thought that it would be really cool to become a firefighter and to work in the same firehouse as my dad so that we could be together on the job and everything. But now that I see that they intentionally separate everybody from the firehouses of their family, it doesn't really matter. I just wanted to become a firefighter and do what my father does. Because whenever I was younger, I always thought that it was the coolest thing.
That's really cool. Gabriel, let me ask you, who have you heard the most from at Michigan State? What coach is talking to you the most?
Oh, it was their, I believe, defensive coordinator, Coach. I can't think of the
Tressel?
name.
Was it Coach Tressel?
Oh, no, it was Coach Terrence.
Okay, Coach Terrence Samuel. Okay, good for you. Let me ask you a couple more questions. What did you think when you got the Michigan State offer?
I was pumped. I was very excited because coming from Michigan State, they were one of the first schools to ever be looking at me. They sent me a questionnaire whenever I was a freshman and starting out in high school, so I filled it out and I sent it on back. But to hear from Coach Terrence saying that I have an offer over the phone, it was a great feeling.
Now, Gabriel, will you be coming up and either camping or visiting this summer at all?
I believe I will be visiting there this summer.
Okay. Well, listen, stay on the line if you would, Gabriel. I want to talk to you. That's Gabriel Rubio, one of the top defensive ends in America for the 21 class with a Spartan offer. Keep that kid in your back of your mind, folks. What a super kid and a great football player. We'll be back.